Hi everybody, welcome to the November recap of the Houston Rockets franchise. As you see, we did already play through December 1st. It was because I totally forgot when I was playing through and simming through that I did after the Minnesota game, which we did take a loss in episode number 5, 133 to 110. The next two games, we did lose to the 76ers by 7, and then we lost to the Thunder by a lot, 22. So it's going to set us up for episode number 7, which we are going to actually go over what's going to happen in episode 7 in this video, actually, because of the fact that with that loss to Minnesota, we are no longer in contention to even make the cup bracket at this point. So with the loss, we did need to get a win to push both teams or to push us to 2-2, which would have made Sacramento 2-1, which would have set up for us to possibly need to play that game. But we didn't win. We lost. Minnesota is going to possibly be in the running for the bracket. Here are the standings so far. This is just going to be our recap for November. So far to start the season, Mavericks are on top of the West. You got Timberwolves, Thunder, Grizzlies, Sacramento at 5, Golden State at 6, Clippers at 7, Suns at 8, Spurs at 9, Pelicans at 10, Nuggets at 11, and we're sitting at 12. We're 8-13 on the year. We're also tied with the Lakers right now, who are also 8-13. So both teams are very much underperforming. Both Western teams, the Lakers and the Houston Rockets. Actually, I can't say we are. We're actually above where I thought we would be at the beginning of the season. Let's taking a brief look at the Eastern Conference. Indiana's on top. You got New York at 2, Toronto at 3, Bulls at 4, Philadelphia at 5. The Boston Celtics, after winning the championship last season, my favorite team, are at 6. 11-10, mid of the way Eastern Conference team right now. I'm not too sure why, but there is actually a huge injury that did occur last episode. It kind of flashed at the bottom of the ticker, and I did make mention of it because in this episode we're going to go over all the injuries around the league. But the Utah Jazz and the Washington Wizards are right now vying for that number 1 pick. If the season ended today, it would be between those two would have the best odds of the number 1 pick. In our division, the Southwest Division, we're in last place. We are roughly 2.5 games back of the 4th seed or 4th place New Orleans Pelicans. And we do have games against the Pelicans coming up in the season. Actually, within the month of December, I believe we play them 3 times in December. So we're gonna have to knock them out early, often, to do that. Here are the power rankings as well. Your usual suspects at the top: Mavericks, Timberwolves, Pacers, Thunder, Knicks. Golden State's actually up there. They're up 1 spot, but then again, you got to remember this at the end of November. They started toward the bottom, or about midway through the power rankings at the beginning of the season. And so now they're up at like 6. So that's a big riser for me. It's Golden State. They've played well. They're 6 in the West right now. But we haven't even got to our team yet. We were toward the bottom of the power rankings, and we still are. We're still in the bottom echelon. But we're at 21. We're not even in the top 20 yet. We have dropped 4. As you see, we were eventually in the top 20 at some point in the month of November. We've started to fall because in the month of November, we went 7-8. We didn't even have a winning record as a team in the month of November, and that's definitely something we're going to have to fix. Another team that had a horrible month is going to be your Orlando Magic, 5-11. Portland, 4-11. Wizards, 3-11. Not very good months. Here are the injury reports around the league, guys. Giannis is actually hurt. That's a big one for the Bucks. He's going to be out for the next 1 to 2 weeks. Like I said, the Boston Celtics have a huge injury. Al Horford tore his Achilles in one of their games, and so he's out for the season. And I'm believing that's one of the reasons why they just haven't played up to where they were last year. Al Horford was pretty much healthy all season. They managed his minutes. Should he have retired last year? I would say, yeah. He would have gone out as a champion, gone out on top, still one of the best stretch fours we had in the league when he came in. Developed his game, outstanding three-point percentage when he began to really shoot threes in Atlanta, and then moved on from Atlanta after that. But of course, he did start his career as an Atlanta Hawk. But it's unfortunate when you see a guy like Al Horford have to go down like that, especially with the torn Achilles. He's already at the age of 37, 38 years old. He could definitely call it quits this year. Even if Boston made a run this year, and he's not going to be on the court for the rest of the season. So even if they win the championship again in this franchise, if they win in year one, um, I think this is the end of his career. This Achilles is done. He's done. I don't think he's gonna come back. Really, really sad to see, um, as a team, as a fan of the Boston Celtics. It really is sad to see him take that injury like that. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of just talking over as we're going through the rest of the injuries here. With the around the Devin Booker also dislocated right patella. That's another big one for the Phoenix Suns. He's going to be out for the next 2 to 4 months. Portland also has a couple of really big injuries. You lost DeAndre Ayton, which of course we didn't see him at all in our matchups with the Portland Trailblazers. He did tear his right MCL. He's only out for the next 6 to 8 weeks, so he will be back. I just don't know, if he's going to be as healthy or as effective as he has been for this Portland team. It's definitely going to be something that we're going to have to watch. But let's look over the Player of the Week awards. So far through the first part of the season, Giannis has won it twice. Joel has won it twice. Trey and Tyrese Maxey in the East. In the Western Conference, you had LeBron won it once. Ant won it once. Luka has won it twice. And Shea has also won it. As a Player of the Month last month, Joel and Luka for the Player of the Month for the East-West. And then for the Rookie of the Month, you see it there. Western Conference, Reed Sheppard, our rookie point guard, won Rookie of the Month in the month of November, and we're looking for him to do it again in December and possibly for the rest of the season. Just hold that down because Recaster in the East, very good player. They're going to be vying for the Rookie of the Year. But this is a bombshell here. Jalen Green doesn't want to resign. He wants to test free agency. That was definitely one of the guys I wanted to build around. But with that, if Houston continues to falter, we do have good guy. We do have Amen Thompson that can play the 2. Very good defensive guy. Just can't shoot the 3. Jalen Green is more of an all-around guard. So we're going to focus on trying to re-sign Alfred Sengun for the rest of the season. Whenever his comes up, we're going to show you that we signed him. But Jalen Green, if he doesn't want to resign, he already wants to test free agency. Maybe it could change if we do make a run to the playoffs. I don't know how that works. I'm assuming the logic would be the same as if it would be in real life, where he could backtrack and say, hey, actually, I do want to stay. And that would be great for us. We would love to have him here. I said at the beginning of the series, I want to build around Jalen Green. I want to build around Alfred Sengun. Those are our building blocks. We've also had some more young guys show up. Reed Sheppard being one, our rookie point guard from the University of Kentucky. Amen Thompson, our second-year shooting guard, small forward. Great defensive mind. Great athletically. He's played well. Tari Eason off the bench. He's played well. These young guys are really stepping into their own now. And it's going to be difficult. Not with us not having Jalen Green next year. It's going to be looking to the draft. And drafting is going to be key for us. Because I'm not saying Amen Thompson can't handle the load. But he just doesn't have the spread that I want. He doesn't have the floor spacing that I need. Especially as my 2. If I need you to shoot a 3, I need you to also be able to make it. And Amen Thompson just doesn't have that 3-point game right now. As we're going through the rest of the stats for the team right now, with Reed Sheppard, with the elevated play of Reed Sheppard, our rookie guard, point guard, I want to definitely see if it's going to be worth it to extend Fred VanVleet, because what I haven't shown you guys yet is Fred VanVleet is on a 2-year deal, but it's technically a 2-year deal, but it's a 1-1. He's got the regular salary, and then next year it's a team option, so we can choose to pick up his option in the offseason. And I was going to, originally at the start of the series, I was going to re-sign Fred to give us that 1 to 2 year development for Reed Sheppard. But Sheppard has stepped onto the scene and has played outstandingly well in the minutes we've given. He's also started 3 games, as you saw. with the stats we just went over. And he's played decently well. He's already at 9 points a game. His playmaking needs to get better. But his defense is really in a solid spot where I could serviceably have him guard somebody like a De'Aaron Fox in the West, a Steph Curry in the West. He won't do very well, but that backcourt tandem is what we're looking for. And I think Reed could definitely take over for Fred if we decide to let him walk. So at the end of the year, it's going to be difficult depending on where we finish, for one. And then for two, it's going to be a difficult choice for us as far as if we do decide to extend the team option to Fred VanVleet, because I think he's a solid player. He's a solid veteran. Definitely somebody that I do want to keep around just to develop Reed Sheppard for this year. And then, of course, next year if we keep him. My thinking is if we do keep him, right, he won't be the starter next year. Next year, if Reed continues to play outstanding, doesn't get hurt the rest of the season, we do have a fallback plan for Fred, and that would be he would be our backup guard, our backup point guard for Reed Sheppard for rest days. And if he got injured, Fred is still serviceable. He's a great point guard, great playmaking guard. And I just can't see us just letting him go. I don't know yet. But also with the exit or the possibility of an exit with Jalen Green right now. We don't have. He does want to test free agency. I do believe we do have the team option on him because I do believe he's still in his rookie deal. I do need to go back and relook. I can't remember off the top of my head, of course. But if for some reason we do have the team option, I'm not trading Jalen Green this year. I'm not, because normally in these situations, if a player doesn't want to resign and they're already on a regular deal like that, I would trade him. Because you're telling me you don't want to stay, no matter what your play is, no matter what your morale is at the time, you don't want to stay. So I'm not going to keep you here. As a GM, as a forward-thinking player or person, I'm not going to keep you here if you don't want to be here. Because at the end of the time, I can't resign you. So why would I just let you play for free on the team when you could just go somewhere else, play out the rest of your time, and then if they want to resign you in the offseason, that's them, but I won't because I already know you're not going to take it. So for the cup play as of right now, like I said, we were 1-2. Portland's 1-2. We're at the bottom now. Sacramento actually lost. So even if we did want to play this game against Sacramento, we could. Most likely we're not going to show this one because none of these bottom 3, 4, 5 in our group play are not going to make it. But that's my forward thinking as far as for those things that I talked about. Let's look at the other cup standings right now. San Antonio's at 2-1. Phoenix is at 2-1. OKC's at 2-1. The Lakers are out, and so are Utah. Not going to make it. Dallas, perfect, 3-0. I believe Dallas is going to make it for the west side. Dallas is in. And there was no question about it. Dallas has an outstanding team. New York definitely pulling away here. 3-0. New York, Philadelphia lost their chance when they lost. I believe this because they lost to New York. When they lost to New York, they were over. Same with Orlando. They lost to New York as well. They're done. Miami's at 3-1. Miami could still edge in, but it's going to go off a point differential at that point. But also, you got to remember, record-wise, will they make it because of the record? I don't know. We'll have to definitely keep an eye on that. Pistons lost all three. And then Boston. What can you say? 124.2 a game, plus 57-point differential, 4-0 on East side. There's nothing more I can say. Boston is them. Even with the loss of Al Horford, they may be a middle-of-the-pack team right now, but they're hitting their stride at the right time. And that's the biggest thing. So, like I said, I don't know which team we're going to play yet. I will show that at the beginning of episode 7 who we're playing. So you guys will actually already know who we're playing like I've been doing so far. But guys, that's basically going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys did enjoy the recap. I know I talked a lot. I know we kind of went over trade stuff, but we do have a couple of games here. And not as many games in the month of December because of the Cup Finals that will be on the week of the 9th through the 15th. And, of course, we don't have a game at all. We'll have regular games, but nothing for the Cup. But, guys, that's going to do it for today's episode number 7. 6. Episode 7 will be coming to you soon once I get it recorded and everything, pick the game that I want to play and show and all that. But guys, thank you guys so much for coming out. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next episode, in episode number 7, as we continue on with the Houston Rockets franchise. Later.